Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Jenna Zellers and I'm excited to be here today. One moment while I get my screen up. Probably be a good idea if we started with the first slide. Great. So nice to be on this webinar with you today. I'm glad that you've decided to join me. Like I said, I'm Dr. Jenna Zellers, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. The concepts and ideas I'm about to share with you are some of my greatest passions in life, and it is my hope that some of my passion, excitement, and even my words of wisdom will forever inspire you and carry on with you in your journey. Excuse me. And I have to say, this information is very valuable, and even if you begin implementing it right away, you'll literally start seeing shifts in your own life. It's almost like you're going to be attending a motivational seminar today from the comfort of your own home, office, or phone, wherever you are in the world today. So please make yourself comfortable, grab something to write with, and tune in because you're going to want to soak this up. Let's get started, shall we? So, the three most simple and most rewarding strategies to pursue your life's potential without having to risk everything. Once you get to know me, you're going to realize that I don't believe in accidents. I believe there is a reason that this title caught your eye, and you can probably agree with me, right? Comment yes below in the comments if you are here, and that way I can know you're with me. All right. So you want more. You know that your life is meant for more. Something in your gut quivers when you think of the word potential. Your eyes light up and you are focused in like a laser beam, right? Well, let me be really honest with you. That rumbling in your gut or that pitter-patter in your chest is your potential waiting to be released. It's trapped. Your life's potential, whatever it is, and it's different for every one of us on the call today, is being suppressed by your current life. And it's not the life that you've been created for. Something inside of you knows this, and that's why you're here. You are awake, and you are searching for what it is. Look, I'm not a psychic, I promise. I'm just very in tune, and that's what led me to creating this webinar and the program I offer to my clients, which I'll explain more about that later. I know about that feeling in your gut because I've been in your shoes. I have felt defeated. I've felt useless. I've been stuck. I've been unhappy. And then I've been really happy. I've been on emotional roller coasters with really high highs and really low lows. Look, we all come to crossroads in our life, and some of us stay there a little longer than others. And sometimes we go on detours that get us way off track. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. But what I'm going to teach you is that what you do when you're at a crossroads. And when your life is really off track, you can either go down that path or you can come up with the courage to actually make a decision when the choices are right there in front of you. And how, just like I have, you can tap into your life's true potential that you've been suppressing all these years. I know you know that there's a better life waiting for you. So stay with me here. If you stay to the very end, I have a very nice special promotion for the first 100 guests. And stay with me if you can identify with this. Let me go back. If you know that you have a bigger purpose on this planet, and you crave the opportunity to tap into your potential. You want more clarity around how to find more balance, peace, and happiness in your own life. And I'll show you how you can do this by just making simple shifts in your habits and mindset. Stay with me today if you feel stuck or trapped in a life that you no longer enjoy. I'll share with you a few simple tricks to get that feeling better. And you want to end your struggle with low self-esteem, low self-worth, low energy, and even your low limiting beliefs. Those are the worst. So, and one more. Stay with me if you know deep down inside there is a more successful, more talented, and more authentic being waiting to burst out. So my goal for you is to take your life to the next level, then the next and the next. For those of you who are really hungry for a change, my goal is for you to find more balance, more peace, more happiness, more fulfillment with your day-to-day task, and learn how to pursue your dreams and pursue your life's true potential. And without sounding cliche or corny, it's really my goal for you to be living the life you are destined for. Wouldn't that be amazing? And can you imagine how the world would be a better place if we all tapped into our destiny and we were living totally on purpose every single day? I can, and I often do imagine this, and that's what drives me to be here today. Okay, guys, so who am I? What makes me so special to be here hosting this webinar? To be honest, I'm not that special. Well, yes, I am. We're all special. My point is that I am no more special than you. Honest. I have just worked hard, paid attention to how I got here, and I've figured out a couple things along the way that I can't wait to share with you. And I have discovered that I am happiest when I'm helping others. It's ingrained in me. Also, I have an enormous drive to be the best that I can, and my entire life has been all about pursuing my potential, but I didn't figure this out until recently. So let me rewind so you can learn a little bit about me, what drives me, and what that means for you on this webinar today. Since the age of 6, yes, 6, I knew that I was going to grow up and be a chiropractor. I thought becoming a doctor of some sort was the top of the top. I mean, how much better can a career get once you're a doctor, right? Oh boy, was I wrong, and I'll explain how I discovered this in just a moment. So at the age of 6, a tiny seed was planted deep within me to grow up and be a chiropractor, a doctor, someone who could help a lot of people. And it was a decision I stuck with. For 19 years, until the age of 25, I pursued that goal of becoming a chiropractor. At the age of 25, I finally graduated. I am the first one in my family to go to college, let alone complete a graduate course. And I did this without the help of my parents. In fact, my mom tried to talk me out of it many times because she didn't want to see me struggle. And my dad, well, he just about had a heart attack when he saw the amount of student loans I was getting myself into. But I did it regardless of the lack of support I had in my corner. So I bought my first car without my parents' help at the age of 18, and a couple of years later I drove 1,400 miles from San Diego, California to Dallas, Texas with everything I owned in my little car, leaving behind all I ever knew at the age of 20 to attend my chiropractic college. And I bought my first house at 21. I mean, how many 21-year-olds do you know that are buying homes these days? And then after graduation, I decided to move again because I fell in love with this little town where I still call home. I craved the opportunity to spread my wings, and I loved accomplishments. I was more driven to go after my dreams, and I never let obstacles slow me down. I craved more and more and more, and I still do. And in a second, I'll explain how suppressing this caused me to go into my very first and only spell of depression. So once I was finally a licensed chiropractor, I set up shop renting these two little rooms from another chiropractor in the back of his office. I knew no one, but I knew I wanted to live here. It was a beautiful, quaint town, very family-oriented, suburbia-like, overlooking a huge lake. It was beautiful, and I was always told to first decide where you want to live and then build your life there. I knew I didn't want to go home because remember, I liked the fact that I had spread my wings. So I just did it. I had no money, no plan, no friends. I went to Office Depot. I printed my own business cards. I made my own flyers to pass around town with little vouchers for a $20 exam. And I hit the streets letting everyone know I was a chiropractor. Man, was I proud. And my excitement spread. Soon everyone in town knew who I was. And eventually, I built quite the following of patients. And before long, I was ready to tackle my next dream, my very own office. So guess what I did? After a year and a half building up my clientele, I felt like a goldfish in that little office. I knew if I was going to keep growing, I'd have to expand my tank and had to get a bigger office. And that's what I did. Here are some pictures of my first office. I loved it. So up until that point, my whole life was first focused on becoming a chiropractor and then getting my own office. These were the two biggest things I ever hoped for. And I had been pursuing these two things for almost 20 years. I finally made it. I finally had everything I had ever worked for. I reached the top. Yeah, I reached the top. And you can probably guess where I'm going with this. I was miserable. I'd reached the top, but I was miserable. Why? Well, what happens to someone who reaches their peak at 27? One of two things. They either set their sights on a new task to pursue, or eventually they get depressed, go into a dark downward spiral when they realize their heyday is over. And that's what eventually happened to me. So, I asked myself, now what? Excuse me. For 5 years, I chased shiny pennies. Do you know what that means? Shiny pennies means you're looking for the outside, something outside to bring you happiness inside. You're going to spend your money on something because you think that's the next answer to making you happy. Oh my gosh, it was exhausting. I was looking for what was next. I was looking for the next goal to chase or the next accomplishment to achieve. You know, I won some cool awards like voted Mom's Approved Chiropractor in a popular Dallas magazine. I spoke on stage at my alma mater in front of 1,000 students and faculty, explaining how I went from new grad to practice of my dreams. That was a rush, being on stage and then speaking in front of that many people. It was exciting. It was quite the accomplishment. It made me somewhat happy, but then I wanted more. So I enrolled in a 4-year online business acceleration program for entrepreneurs. It has online modules. This December will mark my complete of practicing chiropractic. And this year, I enrolled in something else. I enrolled in a 200-hour yoga teacher training course because I need to find something else to do. So as you can see, I can't sit idly by. In my constant pursuit of learning and trying to grow, There was one thing I forgot to take time to study, to learn about. There was one very crucial element I was forgetting. I wasn't looking in the mirror and asking myself what I wanted. Basically, I had achieved everything I'd ever hoped for, and I didn't know where to go next. Really, I had spent my whole life trying to help other people and trying to make other people happy. But I wasn't happy inside. I wasn't making myself happy. I wasn't happy because my life lost meaning. It lost direction. So I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And all these things I would dabble in brought me fleeting levels of satisfaction. But I was going crazy on the inside. I was ignoring my soul. I was suppressing who I was. And at 31, I did not know what it meant to be authentic. So, without getting into too many details to bore you, my quest for more, a bigger office, more success, and the hopes of making it one day led me to making decisions I should have never have made, costing me years of stress, misery, struggle, frustrations, and I almost lost everything. Essentially, my ego or my greed or whatever it was signed me up on the wrong path with the wrong people, and I was living someone else's dream with the promise that bigger and better was right around the corner. I was constantly spinning my wheels and not getting anywhere. Does this sound familiar? I bet it does. I felt like I was a fraud, and I just couldn't face this life and practice I had built. Hitting rock bottom hurts. I wanted to quit so bad. I wanted to throw in the towel, and I even applied for a teaching program so that I could forever close the doors to my practice. I was so close to giving up. For 2 months, I spent my weekends in bed, and on the days I had to go to work, I cried and moaned and pouted like a little toddler. I really didn't want to do anything. My practice and life had somehow became my worst nightmare, and I was doing my best to prove to everyone that I was still strong and successful, and I had this facade that everything was okay, and because I was the chiropractor, that I had to be strong, and nobody could come and help me because I had to help everyone else. Yeah, it was a rough time. So, problem versus solution. There's only one winner. For a whole year, these problems were consuming me. They were right in front of my face every moment, and I wasn't brave enough to face them. They stole and robbed me of my extra energy. The smile on my face and that sparkle in my eye were gone. I was going down. My income crashed. My ability to handle stress vanished. And I was a basket case. Fear and low self-esteem crippled me. The only thing I wanted to do was run away from my life, my responsibilities, my office, and sadly to admit, I even wanted to run away from my husband. I was 31 and having a midlife crisis. I was at a point where I thought maybe medication was my only solution. And if you know me, that was so not an option. But maybe it was my only hope. I knew medicine would only suppress my problem more. And I finally realized I could find a way, somehow I could find a way to pick myself up and do the work that was going to make me better. I knew this wasn't my life. I knew if anything was going to change, I had to change first. And at the worst of the worst, I remember lying in bed on a Sunday afternoon, finally having a little conversation with myself. You have a decision to make, Jenna. Jenna, you are better than this. You could stay like this, or you could decide to crawl out of this mess, get some help, and get your life and practice and marriage and finances back on track. You need to make the decision right now that you're going to change your attitude and that you're going to start reclaiming your life and your practice. And literally that day, I decided to make the decision. It was October of 2015, and that day I started feeling joy again. Joy that I didn't remember feeling since 2012 when I was designing my very first office. Oh my gosh, I was finally free. And I slowly began reinventing myself. And this time, I wasn't going to let anything take me off track. So now I want to share with you what I did that changed everything for me and brought me to this new level, this new stage in my life where I have peace, happiness, and balance around everything I do in life. Or I just don't do it. And who wants balance? Everyone wants balance, right? My husband and I are now enjoying 5 years together, and thank goodness I didn't run away from that because he's my best friend, and our life together just keeps getting better and better. I now don't have to work as hard as I used to. I don't feel like I'm spinning my wheels and getting nowhere. That was exhausting, and I'm so glad those days are behind me. I'm actually spending less money each month because I shed expenses that no longer serve me. I'm not searching for those shiny objects that bring me fleeting happiness. And I was finally able to buy my dream car, the one that I wanted for 7 years, this January. So are you ready to learn how I did it? If you have a pen and paper, now's the time to put it to use. So here we go. The 3 most simple and most rewarding strategies to pursue your potential. Number 1, listen to the voice inside of you. This is really big for me, you guys. When I was at my darkest place and possibly just days away from caving in and going on meds, I searched within for answers and direction. And guess what? They were there all along. I just had to ask. You already have all the answers inside of you too, and in a moment, I'll show you how to just start to fish those out of you. So when I was here, I looked within and I trusted my gut. I picked myself up and I started taking action. I made sure the voice inside of me was louder than the fear or low self-esteem that had been crippling me. You know, experts estimate that we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. But when was the last time you sat there and asked yourself, what is it that you really want, that you're really good at, that makes you happy, makes you sad, makes you angry, makes you excited? I'm going to encourage you to get a piece of paper out and start making a list of everything that goes on in your life and how you feel about it. Take an inventory. It took me about 2 years, but I finally shed out everything in my life if it brought me more pain than pleasure. Clutter, people, responsibilities, obligations, etc., etc. Did you know that you can do the same? And this is what I'm going to teach you. Why should your life be full of people, tasks, things, or responsibilities that don't add inspiration and happiness to your life? I'm sorry, but life is too short. So I want to go through an exercise with you. This exercise has become invaluable to me. And now I use this when making all of my decisions, big or small. You're probably wondering, when you have all those voices inside of you and all of those thoughts, some are good and some are bad, how do you differentiate the voices inside of you? You know, some are from your heart and your soul, and they are the ones that want to propel you forward. And then the other ones come from fear and low self-esteem, and they're the ones that want you to contract and squash your dreams and limit your potential. So I'm going to teach you how to tell them apart and which one to obey. So this is a breathing exercise. Stay with me for a second. Okay, I want you to think of someone else's name for a second. And for the purpose of today's webinar, we'll use Sally, for example. And Sally, if you're on the call, you're going to have to come up with a different fake name. But we're going to use Sally's name. And I want you to close your eyes and try to remove any thoughts that you might be having. Okay, you're going to say, my name is Sally, and you're going to take a deep breath in through, and bring the air and the breath all the way into your belly and let it out. Okay, go ahead and try it. My name's Sally. Pay attention to your breath. Okay, now I want you to do the same thing, but replace Sally's name with your name. Take a deep breath and pay attention to your breath. My name's Jenna. Okay, did you notice the difference between when you said you're breathing between Sally's name and your name? When you used Sally's name, it was actually more difficult to breathe in and out than if you use your name, your real name, and you breathe in and out. There's more ease when you use your real name. We were actually using your breath as a test, a measurement of ease. When you use the fake name, your body knew it was a lie, and your breath could not expand as well as it could when you tell your body the truth. Your dreams are your truth. Your fears are not. And that's why they say fear is just an acronym for false evidence appearing real. They're false. So your breath can now be your guiding indicator as to which decisions to make and which ones to walk away from. Start practicing this and see what you think. And this brings me to our second strategy. Align your current life with your dream life. You can actually use these breathing techniques to decipher what's in alignment with your goals, your dream, and your destiny. What brings you the most pain and the most frustration? I want you to picture it in your mind and take a deep breath. And you'll notice that there's tension in that breath when you think of pain and frustrating things in your life. Now, think about what brings you the most amount of excitement and joy in your life. Think about this. Close your eyes and just picture that perfect life that you're going after. And take a deep breath. Wasn't that a much nicer, more satisfying breath? Do you notice the difference? And these things that are bringing you pain and frustration and stress are doing so because you let them, and you're straying from your dreams and your passions and your purpose. Now, it's not a coincidence I use the word align. After all, I am a chiropractor, and proper alignment is essential for a balanced body. But also, alignment is so important for a balanced life. It doesn't mean if you want a balanced life, you have to go to a chiropractor to get adjusted. Although that is always a good idea. It means you need to do the work in between your ears and fine-tune what you think about, what you dream about, and what you allow into your life that you are actually doing, and that what you are actually doing between what you do and what you think about, make sure they're all in sync. What is it that you spend your time, energy, and money on? And is it helping you get closer to your dream life, the life that you want? I'd encourage you to do some journaling on that. You see, my dream life and what I really believe is my truest calling is to make a massive impact on the people that I work with. We're talking life-changing results. And as a chiropractor, I can make a lot of improvement as far as someone's health goes, and maybe even help them feel a little happier when the patient walks out. But most people don't think of going to their chiropractor for help with their inner self or for discovering their true potential. This is when I knew I had to do something more than just adjust spines all day. And I'll tell you, that decision was really hard because there's a lot of outside pressure from other chiropractors and the community that if you're not a chiropractor and you're not in your office adjusting spines all day, that somehow you're wrong. And sometimes you're not serving people the way that you should be. And that word should, you should be doing this. That weighed me down more than anything else. I should be in my office all day long, 40 hours a week, adjusting as many people as I could. But what about what I really wanted? My inner soul wants to help people get their entire life on target, something I'm naturally really good at. What are you really good at? Do you get to do it all day long? What if you could? And who's in your corner telling you you can and showing you the way? I encourage you to do some journaling on this topic, and that's what I've done to help myself get out of those outside pressures that everyone else puts on us. Why do we let that happen? And when I had my aha moment, it was when I discovered that I am the expert in self-development, personal growth, and pursuing my potential. And I've become so good at it in my own life that now I want to spend my time helping others do the same in their life. And this is my happy place. Have you found what your happy place is? My dream life is being on purpose, being in alignment, and spending my time and energy doing things that inspire me, not drain me. If I wasn't helping other people reach their potential too, I would be ignoring one of my gifts. I would be out of alignment, and then you and the other people I could work with or potentially work with would be missing out on this amazing gift that I have to offer with my life-changing stories, my strategies, and the support that I've learned to be able to be so good at offering. And what I want to be really clear about is I didn't have to risk anything to start pursuing my potential. It was literally one foot in front of the other, one decision, one piece of clarity, one gut idea. I just ran with it. And I didn't have to risk anything. I didn't have to leave my husband. I didn't have to quit my job. I didn't have to take thousands of dollars out of the bank. And neither should you. You just analyze where you are and you figure out what's the bridge to get you to where you want to be. Analyze all of these aspects in your life, what brings you pain and pleasure, and set your sights on new goals and an action plan of how you're going to get there. You put one foot in front of the other and you move forward. You see, I still see patients because it brings me joy and satisfaction. But I knew I didn't want to see patients 40 hours a week. I just couldn't because it's a very physical job. So I cut my hours down to about 20 to 25 a week. And on my time off, I spend every minute finding new ways to pursue my potential, create content for my program, make time for balance, rest, relaxation, fun, and time to grow and develop into the person that I'm meant to become. And this is a never-ending journey, you guys. So if you do nothing else with today's webinar, I hope you can begin taking inventory in your own life. How are you spending your time? Is it helping you accomplish your goals? Where can you make small changes to yield really big improvements? Maybe it's Facebook. Maybe it's hanging out with naysayers or Debbie Downers. Maybe it's watching just a little bit too much TV. And this brings me to my third strategy. Making the decision to move forward is the first step. You probably know one or two things you could easily exchange for a different habit. And all you have to do is just make the decision to do it. The universe will literally start breaking down barriers, opening all the right doors to work with you, to help you accomplish the task that you think about most often. I am a huge believer in the fact that you can have anything you want if you believe you can. But there is real work you have to do. It's not magic. It doesn't just appear. But there is a strategy that you can put in place to make it happen. And once you make the decision to do it, and you have the course laid out for you, you will be amazed at how everything around you starts sending you signs that you are on the right track. What are you waiting for? What's the first decision that you need to make? When I was at my lowest low, I felt defeated. I felt like I had crashed and burned. The decision was to do either nothing and let life keep taking me down, or get up and tell myself I could go after that life that was waiting for me, the life I knew I deserved. And I know since you're still with me, you can resonate with this idea that you are meant for more. What are you waiting for? What do you have to do to make the suffering and struggle stop and start attracting abundance in all areas of your life? Maybe you need to decide to spend more time on you. Maybe you need to decide to take a vacation or sign that contract or move across town or ask your boss for a raise. I know it's something you probably think about every single day. So let's do it. So let's recap here. The 3 most simple strategies and most rewarding to pursue your potential. The first one, remember to listen to the voice inside of you. You have all of the answers right there. Number 2, align your current life with your dream life. Make sure everything you do is putting you forward, is propelling you forward towards that life that you're craving. And 3, making the decision to move forward is the first step. So, do you want more of these things? Balance, peace, joy, happiness, clarity, passion. Absolutely. That's why you signed up to listen to this webinar today. And I hope that what you've learned has already been valuable to help you start attracting more of those things. And now you're at a crossroads. You're sitting at a crossroads. You can go left or you can go right. And both of the street names are hard. The hard road. I had a mentor once explain this to me when I first became a chiropractor. She said, either road you go down is going to be hard. You have the one where if you do nothing, life stays hard. Or the other road where you do the hard work now and then you can actually enjoy the journey later. Which one do you want to sign up for? I don't know about you, but I'd rather work hard now so I can enjoy my life later. I want you to meet Joe. When I first met Joe, he was a single dad, a handyman, and thought he had a pretty great life. But his life was hard. He lived paycheck to paycheck. His body hurt every single day, and each night he drank as a coping mechanism to forget about the pain and struggles that he was going through. What he didn't know was that his entire life was about to change. He married me. Joe, or Joey, he's my Joey. He's my best friend, and over the years, because I have loved him from day one, because I believed in him and opened his eyes to his potential, his whole life began changing. And I have to say, I don't take any credit for this, and I will tell you why. He did all of the work. All I did was shine the light on his potential. He fine-tuned that space between his ears. He started listening to the voice inside of him, and he started waking up and started changing some of his habits, and slowly and surely, he is now a completely different person. And look how handsome he is. He is now 30 pounds lighter than he was the day we got married. He does yoga 3 times a week, and 3 years ago, he decided to go back to school after a 20-year break from ever going into a classroom. And in 2 years, he'll actually become a chiropractor, and I get to stand on stage to present him with his diploma. I couldn't be more thrilled for him. And all of this changed because one day he saw where his life was headed, and he knew if he was to stay on that path that he was on, he needed to change the trajectory of his future, for our future. And I say this now that he is in the best shape of his life at 46. His brain has been capable of so much growth since starting college and taking better care of himself. And he has even worked on clearing out the old issues that caused him decades of anger, resentment, and pain. It's been nothing short of a miracle to watch his transformation. He's now living on purpose and is headed towards reaching his fullest potential, which he hopes keeps getting better and better for the next 50 years. What if you had someone who believed in you, pushed you, and saw inside of you your unique gifts and talents? What if you had someone who believed in you like I believed in Joe? When my husband thinks about where he was and where he is now, his eyes fill up with tears from the insane amount of gratitude he has for the path that he's on now, where if God wouldn't have brought us together, Joe may still be falling short on his accomplishments in life. And just think about all the people he's going to be helping in the next many years of his career. All of those people would be missing out if this didn't happen. Again, I don't take any credit from his testimony. He was the one that woke up. He was the one that did the work. I just shed a light on the new opportunity for him. And that's what I can do for you. If someone would have told my husband 5 years ago that he was going to be doing yoga 3 times a week, in the best shape of his life at 46, and enrolled in chiropractic school, he would have laughed at you. See, I married him because I trusted my intuition. The voice inside of me said, you're going to love this man more and more and more every single day. And he's going to become a better and better husband for you. And together you're going to do really great things. I had no idea when we married what that was going to look like. But I followed my gut. I listened to the voice inside of me. Okay, so I want you to envision the path that you're on. You've hung in there with me this entire webinar, and I really hope it's been eye-opening and valuable. And now you're probably wondering, okay, I can stay where I'm at, but what if I can do what Joe did? How do you get started? How do you work with me? How can I help you? You want to take action, don't you? I know you do. You want to make a shift in your life that will allow your dreams to start knocking on your door. So I have a couple options for you. And in a minute, we're going to send you a special link for joining us today. So the first option you have is to just take what you've learned today and let it absorb, sink in. Maybe you took notes and maybe you'll look at them again. And maybe if you're one of the driven few, you might actually take a couple action steps and start implementing one or more of those strategies you learned today. And you might start noticing some shifts begin to take place. Who here has ever gone to a motivational seminar? And by Monday, you're like gung-ho and you're like, woo, that was awesome. And then life just starts taking over and you get right back to where you are and you forget everything that you learned at the seminar. What if there was a different way? For those of you today that are ready to take massive action, you're ready for your today to be better than yesterday. What a concept, right? You want to know that each day you're becoming a better and better version of yourself. You don't want to just go to a seminar and then hope that it sticks. You want daily reminders of how to be better. You want daily support, daily guidance. So here's how you're going to make the first move. I'm going to talk to you about the program that I have just put together. And for the first 100 people that join us in this program, you're going to get the program at 75% off. Okay, so let me tell you about the Dream Achievers program. It's $197 a month normally. And again, for the first 100 people that join our program, it will be $47 a month. Wow, what a deal. You're going to be called the Dream Achievers 100 Club. And this is within our program. It's a virtual program with digital content and a Facebook group that will give you daily inspiration and interaction with me. Every single Friday, we're going to have weekly live sessions for question and answers for how you get stuck, or, hey, I have this issue and I want to know what should I do next. You're going to have a community of other people that are all on the same path of pursuing their potential. So we're going to call you the inner circle. You're going to have that access, that community access to the inner circle. And I'm going to be sharing my exercises, just like I shared that breathing exercise with you. I'm going to be sharing exercises for growth and expansion. You don't need to worry about this prepaid option because those are going to be for the 101 and purpose in your own life. I'm sure you've heard this before. You become like the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. What do you think you could start accomplishing when I'm rubbing off on you? So this program is for those of you that are really gung-ho about teaching yourself how to get to the next level. You're really gung-ho and driven to make a difference in your life, and you're sick and tired of being stuck where you are. And you want a blueprint, literally a step-by-step blueprint, how to take your life to the next level. In addition to everything that's listed here, I'm going to close this webinar in just a moment, and I'm going to see if I can walk you through the members area of what you're going to accomplish. I have put together a virtual program with 52 weeks worth of content and information that will literally propel your life from where you are now to helping you accomplish your dreams and getting closer to reaching that destiny in just 12 months. So let me ask you this. How much would it mean to you if you found happiness again in your life? How much would it mean to you if someone showed you the way? Literally said, here's step 1, 2, 3, and so on. And held you accountable for actually creating the life of your dreams. Maybe it's the promotion you want or a career change. Maybe you're ready to step into being an entrepreneur and start the business of your dreams. Maybe you are ready to meet the love of your life. Or maybe you're ready to tell your parents that you're moving across the country to pursue that acting career you've always dreamt about. Maybe you have absolutely no idea what to do next, but you know you are destined for greatness and you want to go seize a new opportunity and to pursue your potential, pursue your passions, pursue the you that you are destined for. When you join this program, we have the blueprints laid out for you to show you how to lavishly design your dream life and show you the way to pursue your potential and stop putting the negative self-talk and letting it cripple you and hold you back. So if you know you're ready to jump in, then you're going to open an email that we send you shortly. It will be in the next hour or so, the next 30, 45 minutes or so. I'm going to send you that link. So check your inbox. And if you're still not sure if you want to join the program, but you want to ask me a few questions, we have set aside 15 openings for some of you to book a personalized strategy call with me at no charge. And we can play detective together and hopefully reveal one thing that you can start doing immediately to take you to the top. So if you're stuck with us this long, you're going to get that link in your email and you're going to join our program. Again, the first 100 people get to join our program for only $49 a month versus the $197 asking price we'll have as soon as the 101st person joins us. So I want to thank you so much for your time and focus today. I enjoyed sharing these strategies with you, and it's my hope that they were valuable. One moment while I exit this, I'm going to see if I can pull up that members area while we have just a few more minutes left. I'm going to see if I can show you what it looks like. Okay. This is just an example. You will literally get access to my 52-week blueprint. So if you can still see my screen, the first quarter is the foundation, the 12-week focus on foundation. Well, we literally have 12 lessons for you, and every 7 days, you're going to get access to the next module. So you just do one thing at a time, and you focus on that for the week. The second quarter is the 12-week deep dive into your possibilities, and you go through those 12 sessions. The third quarter is a 12-week transformation. So once we've got rid of all of the gunk and we've built up your foundation, we can literally watch you reinvent yourself. And then the 12-week showcasing the new you. So this is our 52-week blueprint for the first 100 people that join our program. It will only be $49 a month, and you'll get access to all of this content, my guidance and support to help you start living your potential. So again, check your inbox. You're going to get that very special link for you to join our program. If you don't know if you are ready to join the program, you can book a strategy call with me. So thanks again. I look forward to connecting with you soon.